This week we were tasked with reading the story Daisy Miller. The story takes place during the Gilded Age, and during that time, lots of Americans, the upper class Americans after the war, they felt like they wanted to travel to Europe and experience the arts and see the old world. During this time, though, many Europeans been a negative view of the American citizens. They thought that Americans were ignorant and that they lacked proper etiquette, and that essentially they were just beneath their European counterparts. Men were expected to respect the women and to not put them in compromising situations, while on the other hand, women in America during this time period were expected to be or seem innocent and to not put their reputations at risk. The story is centered around the main character, Winterbourne, who, in my mind, I feel he's a lot like Haymaker from the Sweatshop Romance. He wanted to get to know Daisy Miller. He liked her. Daisy Miller's the other main character. He liked her, but he was always afraid to tell her how he actually felt. She was so unconcerned with what people thought. She just let loose. She had a good time, which it wasn't really like women back then. She just did whatever she wanted and never really considered the consequences. So that's kind of why I guess he didn't really open up and tell her how he truly felt. He heard lots of rumors and gossip about how she was always going out with other men and stuff like that, and he listened to that more than just listening to himself and going up to Daisy and actually expressing his feelings towards her. Winterbourne's aunt actually even refused to meet Daisy because she felt that Daisy was beneath her. So Daisy was in Rome and, living her life, not caring really what people think or say about her. And towards the end, she is with another gentleman at the Coliseum, I believe. And Winterbourne goes there, and he decides, I'm just gonna give up. I'm not gonna try anymore. But he still cares for her. He tells the gentleman, you should get her home before she gets ill out here. Daisy actually ends up getting malaria that night, and she dies, and it seems that nobody honestly really cares except for Winterbourne. He's the only one that really cares about her passing away. He doesn't seem to realize that he shouldn't have cared what other people thought, and he wasted his chance, and now she's gone forever, and he can't ever have her. I think that James's purpose was to make the reader understand that the worst thing you can do is be afraid to make a mistake, because you'll realize that you never truly lived when you get to the end of your life. You have to be willing to live with no regrets and take chances, because an opportunity can never arise if you don't take the chance to get it to arise. You can't want something without trying for it or asking for it. You can't just expect it to fall into your lap, because that just doesn't happen. It's not realistic. Daisy, she lived her life with no regrets because she didn't care what other people thought. She just enjoyed her life to the fullest, and yeah, she died. She passed away. That's unfortunate, but she lived during her life. She lived, and on the other hand, Winterbourne, he might die without ever truly living, and I think that's really the true message through this story, Daisy Miller.